expected it to be. Wide open, very entertaining 20 minutes of action. Rod Langway opening the scoring for Team USA, then Rick Middleton and Doug Wilson scoring for Team Canada. Mike Bossy of Team Canada is our first intermission guest here. 7 years in the National Hockey League, Mike, and you've never had fewer than 50 goals. It must feel a little strange, though. You've got your line mate, Bryan Trottier, and you're playing against him tonight.
Well, that's true. It's, you know, we've been playing almost every year together for 80 games, and it is a little strange to go out there and have to get used to another center iceman.
Mike, I know you have a lot of respect for Bryan Trottier, number one as a hockey player, and number one, his decision to play for Team USA. Well,
you know, after everything that was said on my part and on everybody else's part, I guess what it comes down to is what Bryan Trottier, the individual, wanted to do, and he decided to play for the U.S. team, and you know, that's his right. It was his choice, and he was the one who was going to have to live with it. And from what I've heard from Bryan himself and from what I've read in the papers, he seems totally satisfied with his decision. So, you know, there's nothing really you can say about it.
Mike, back in 1981, you scored 8 goals in the Canada Cup. You led all players in terms of goals. What would your approach, or how would it differ in preparations this time around compared to 81? Well,
my preparation was really, the only difference was physically. I've been having trouble with my knee ever since the start of training camp, and I guess that was my biggest question mark, was whether I was going to play or not. And I decided to play. The knee was holding up pretty good, and things are going well so far. As far as preparing yourself to play goes, it's really hard. You know, all the teams are tough. I think more teams are going to be tough this year than they were in 81 after looking at the Czech-Russia game yesterday. And the U.S. team is much better than it was the last time. So it's going to be a lot tougher, I think.
Mike, everybody touts Team Canada in their games against the Soviet Union and Czechoslovakia, but I know right now you're concerned with Team USA, and this game means a lot.
Well, that's true. Before we play Russia or the Czechs, we have to play the U.S. team, and you know, they've proved themselves to be a tough team so far throughout the exhibition schedule against them, and beating the Sweden team the other night 7-1 was a good win for them, and I'm sure they built a lot of confidence from that game.
Okay, Mike, keep up the good work and good play in the balance of this game in the series.
Thank you very much.
Mike Bossy of the New York Islanders and a member of Team Canada.